first map that was very convincing here. Thanks to Esperanto, I would say we had some fantastic plays. I don't know what was better, Hugo, though. I have to be honest. That first map, that fantastic cutscene.
Yeah, I'd say that Imperial's performance was far more convincing than Parler's acting, personally. But yeah, that was pretty sick, actually. I like the zombie apocalypse run, but we will get more to that later. Instead, now, Connor, we have the second map of this series, and wow, this is really turning out to be a bit of an unexpected story.
Yeah, most certainly. I mean, we thought, okay, maybe Imperial would have some stake in this fight, depending on maybe the map, possibly if certain performers were hitting shots, but I think it's kind of the perfect storm right now. Not only has the key pieces of Imperial continued to just be so confident in their gameplay. That's the thing. It's pretty straightforward Counter-Strike, but it's just they're managing to outclass in terms of skill players you'd expect more from. I think, unfortunately for Yugi, he was the one that was kind of missing a couple of crucial kills at some points in that game.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just falling on any one individual. It was just Imperial through and through. Looked fantastic.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even all put it down to Yugi. Yes, he missed his early shots, but he definitely picked it up towards the second half, or at least the end of the first half. But if you look at Config in that, Cajun, I mean, yeah, there were a couple of rounds where we saw some life, but by and large, Config 14 kills, nothing special. This is the guy that we expect, but not only expect, we need to step up for OpTic every game if they're going to take these dominant victories that we've seen them have in this event so far. But this is not the OpTic that we have been seeing. However, it's definitely the Imperial that has 2-0'd their way through the group stages and looked fantastic ever since. So yeah, going into the second map, I myself leaning towards the 2-0 here. We know how good Imperial are at Mirage. It's just the question of can OpTic brush off that first map and come back in hot.
I mean, it's wild to think, but remind yourselves that just one DreamHack previously in Austin, we had OpTic falling to Rogue. So they are susceptible to the upsets, and that first map's already gone their way. But this is where we do have to give them a little bit more of an edge, Hugo. In terms of resilience, experience, and accomplishment, OpTic should not be an easy task for guys like Imperial. They were, of course, previously, but we'll see if they can do it again here on Mirage. It's a two-man catwalk setup and already a double rotation over towards the market doors, but with smoke in their face, they're not going to be able to move forward. Oh my goodness, Nuki still just running forward, catches Yugi from behind, and Snappy, well, he'll trade eventually, but it's still a 4v4.
These are nice post plants, though. 2 players up on short, and Imperial not coming into the market so far. So OpTic are going to be in very, very good spots because Imperial have wasted time wrapping back through these apartments. They'll be spotted by Snappy, so no surprises here from the CT side. And already next to getting dropped, Crystal going to follow in tow. And while a couple of kills come out of the back of these pistols, the round surely at this point passed its sell-by date. Tensky has to stick this bomb. He's chucking on the smoke, trying to force out at least one peek here, but he's sandwiched in between 2, and this just isn't going to work out. Gay cleans up, and far too much time wasted from Imperial on that retake. They should have just gone in when they could have.
Yeah, that is the bigger issue, right? Just playing against the clock itself will never help your efforts, and OpTic, well, they pretty much got in for free. They were set up so quickly over towards the apps. You'd think maybe with the flank coming in, it could have been costly, but even that little issue, the situation was dealt with, swept under the rug. Although, let's see if we can get some upsets. Imperial will still buy with what they can. Scout on Nuki early on, smoke to the top of mid, obscures his vision, and affords OpTic the cross. Now, they do have 2 AKs in play, but it's those 3 umps that they'll be looking to farm money.
Yeah, and while we saw OpTic convincingly take a few pistol rounds back on an overpass in terms of these force buy rounds, Imperial, they only took 1 themselves. However, it's still a possibility. Only 2 AKs up on this T side, and they will be looking towards B, where Esperanto sits and lies in wait, now lying down dead. Only 1 kill to his name, but it might be enough considering we still have 2 players on this B site. Nuki again starting things off. He's hit another player with a scout as well, and Crystal hasn't been spotted. He's got a Zeus and a pistol to find his kill. Yugi's dead in the water, and Crystal is gonna just jump up and electrocute Gade. A shocking result from Imperial, and they're going to pick up the force.
Oh my god, that's ridiculous. And that's the kind of tilting essence, too, that's going to just throw everything in the air for OpTic. Not just a Zeus, a jumping Zeus.
Oh, even better. Boom.
Wow, that's never supposed to happen. Ever. But alas, here we go. This could just be a shitstorm, to be honest. If they're going to continue off of that first map, things are not looking pretty for OpTic. You're already salty about losing the first map, right? And especially at a score like that. You come in, think we've got Pistol. Obviously, you know, they probably went through some little rigorous mental reevaluation in between these maps. Hugo talked it over, thought they'd cleaned the slate. And no, back into the depths of hell, where Imperial are trying to pull the upset. So they'll get through their conversion point. They'll manage it with relative ease. Still some losses, but now it's where they regain that footing. And P9's being tossed around in a quick stance by OpTic over towards this A site.
I like these Palace bursts, and it's interesting to see if Imperial give away this bomb plant or try and contest it back, because there's no smokes for OpTic, so Esperanto could just have a firing range down here, and he will get two. Nexa as well with another one, and it is as clean as you would like it. Imperial do not give up the site. They don't give up the round. In fact, Connor, they don't even give up a kill. Of course, only Glocks for OpTic, but finding no success there as you would expect. And here's where the buy comes back in, but Imperial still have this lead once again, despite OpTic taking that pistol round.
Strong start on overpass, despite OpTic bringing it back towards the end of their T side. Still did give, again, Imperial a strong start. So OpTic with a recent reminder of how quickly momentum can sweep you away. Nuki starts this one towards mid. Now, it is going to force OpTic's hand into the A-bomb site. Esperanto's trying to tap back towards Palace, but he's going to get nothing for his efforts. In fact, OpTic have gotten themselves closer to the bomb site, but there's still no plan. Maybe now they can try and work this, but Nexa could still be a bit of a problem. In fact, look at Nuki go. He comes over the top of the staircase with 2 kills of his own, and now it's into the clutch 1v1. Nexa's got it. 2 frags for him. He survived the ticket booth. And off of his teammates rotate into the bomb site, he found the opportune moment to strike.
And 3 kills as well from Nuki. This man has just been fantastic this series already. Top of the team in the previous and already coming back in with a vengeance in the second game. Now he's even got the AWP as well, Connor. You don't want to give this man that kind of opportunity. OpTic are on pistols and looking to set up for a bit of a B rush as well. There's only Tensky here, so comes down to a bomb plant. I think OpTic can get that at the very least, even with these limitations, but how much more is a question. Tensky needs to get a couple of kills to make it worth his while, so this retake is doable, and he's already gone above. Can he go beyond? They're not committing to the duel, and he does run low on ammo, so switching to the pistol as Crystal comes in for support. And OpTic haven't even gotten out of the apartments here. They're still sitting up in the window, and now they fall into the hands of Crystal. One by one, these T's being picked off, and wow, maybe you think they try and at least get onto the site.
You'd think maybe, but you're not given that kind of an opportunity with a solid lockdown on the defense. Imperial, I mean, ice in their veins. They had no reason to sweat. Hold your ground, rack up rounds. And that's what they've done thus far. Still, though, it is another gun round back in for OpTic. They are at least well equipped. Even Yugi has his op, but look at Tensky go. He's just going to try to go unleashing towards the top of mid, and sure enough, he gets the kill. It's Config shut down at the start of things. Config was isolated from his teammates because of all that utility, and the bomb's even thrown out on the dirt. Nicely done by Gade, though. He's going to punish that underpass peak, although it costs him 90 health.
That's the second time OpTic has just started off a round with a man disadvantage due to an early mid play. You don't necessarily need to take it at the start of the round. You see so many more teams play passive and hold the top and middle, waiting for CT aggression, but OpTic were not expecting that. It's the sheer confidence from Imperial, once again bullying OpTic. And while it was the same scoreline in the previous map, a 5-1 start to Imperial, the OpTic eventually pulled back to 5-5. Imperial don't even want to give them that this time. The bomb dropped for a second time in the round, and Yugi going to try and pull it back with his AWP. There's still Nuki alive to try and fend off this A bomb site, but OpTic have pulled it back into an equal situation. Where will they choose to go, though? It is looking like A, with Cage and B down on the ramp and this bomb focused on the connector. Imperial 2 players here to stop this madness, and with a man hidden at the back of the box is Nexa. He is basically the support. All Nuki needs to do is get information, and Nexa can just play off the back of that, drop the bomb, and with time already being low, a bomb getting dropped could seal OpTic's fate.
Yugi's going to serve as a distraction here, just rattling off some rounds. We'll have Nuki fall a little bit further back, and his flash blinds the eyes of one. Still 3 Ts for OpTic here in position, and Nexa's not going to be able to stop this plant. He won't even win his duel. Cajun B barely standing at the end of this one, and it all falls onto Crystal. He has to rotate over, and he's coming in late. And once he gets here, sure, there are 2 soft targets to take, but Yugi's still a problem. And so is the corner from Gade. OpTic back on the board. A 3 versus 3 that they worked very nicely, but I feel like they were given some room to work with. We had those counter-terrorists because of Nexa's anchor on the bomb site, just letting OpTic in. And they assumed that Nexa would come in with the win, but that wasn't the case.
Yeah, that's why Nuki was totally okay with flashing and giving away his position in the CT spawn. He was trying to draw the attention of OpTic over there so they wouldn't check behind the box.
And the fact that Cajun B survives with 10 HP just goes to show how close that could have been.
Yeah.
A whole other story.
Well, it's the AWP for Nuki again, and this time he can hit a shot. Down into middle, Snappy's dropped for the second time. Nuki posts back up, looking to try and trade it back as the smoke does dissipate, but Imperial, they're fine with that. They're going to settle back with a man advantage, reposition, place that AWP somewhere new. Towards the connector, Nuki looks, but he's got to be careful because Yugi is still here, trained on the angle, and he misses a shot. Both of them do, in fact. Luckily, both of them will get out alive, so no big mistakes made just yet, but OpTic now want to take back the connector, not allow Nuki so much free reign over that middle portion of the map. Tensky smokes out ramp, but he pushes ahead of it, so already behind enemy lines. This is going to convince Imperial to rotate a man off of A, and you can already see Nexa going back towards the B site that is already stacked up with 2. OpTic are going to walk into a very heavy defense here.
Defense has already been whittled down by 1. Crystal's going to try to come back and find an angle, but the M4A1S is nearly dry at this point. Nexus gets into position. He does take down 2 kills, make it 3. And it falls onto Cajun B, who already comes in. He's got himself a kill. He's got 9 health, and he needs to get the bomb. Oh, my. Almost actually evening this out. In fact, he could take that bomb and just run up cap, but he is so susceptible to this flank. Tensky creeping inwards, executes from above.
And sick round from Nexa, right? That is the early rotation.
Yes.
That is the push from Tensky, completely winning Imperial the round. If Tensky didn't have all the information that the A side was clear, without Nexa coming back in so early and supporting his team, you know, the entries were found by OpTic. It's just that third man they weren't ready for. So Imperial, nice work on the aggression, well-timed and good rotation from Nexa to actually get those frags. It's going to put OpTic down to eco. A reset coming in from their second round. And pistols in play. Surely a forfeit. OpTic going back towards B. We saw this on the previous anti-eco, but they weren't even able to get out of the apartments, and Yugi this time can't get out of mid. Crystal trying to lock down the apps, but he has a utility. So no need to take the gunfight to Molotov in his feet, but he's got plenty more where that came from.
Oh, there's something from Config. He has been quiet. With a shout, they could just burst into this bomb site, maybe trying to find a plant. They're going to have to get past the guns regardless. No grenades, not even a flash. Aha, but again, Config still has that deagle. That's all he seems to need. Now he's upgraded into the AK. Config's actually got himself the 3-piece. He has single-handedly created this opportunity for his team, and they're now looking to make the most of it with the plant, and both players on site still. Config, the only one equipped other than Gade on the MP9. But finally he just dropped. Nexa gets the best of it. You're definitely going to still go for this retake, and in fact, the T's just trickle into the crosshair of Nexa. They make his job that much easier. He is fired up. And I don't blame him. Multiple frags on his rotations towards those B sites in back-to-back rounds.
And after his teammate was spotted up short, he actually went for that rotate back in through the window. And that was what held Nexa to sit in the back of the market and wait for these Ts to push him one by one, as you can see. He was waiting for his teammates so they could have retaken together, but he wins all 3 kills, so it doesn't seem to matter. Nexa, again, starting off this map very strong. 13 kills for him right now. Top of the team. And Imperial with another heavy lead, 7-2. OpTic back with guns in their hands, because again, they got a lot of impact, a lot of damage in that previous round, with a bomb plant and 3 kills to their name, or to Config's name. And Gade, he's going to just look to open up this one. A fast entry towards A. Already Esperanto dead, and Nex is going to try and hold the line back from CT that's yet to be smoked. And OpTic don't want to either. Finally, the utility going in, but a second pick to add on. This is not turning out to be a good round for Imperial.
No, this was pretty straightforward, Hugo. They just walk right out of ramp. It's Nexa's rotation that starts to get this team back into this at least. And they have so much behind them, they might as well go for this, but Nuki gets cleared from the ticket booth. Still there's a player back behind the triple stack. That flash could slow things down. No, it only hits his eyes. Yuki's lurk, though. This is going to be big, because it leaves Nexa now alone. In a 1 versus 4 with no footing towards the site, fight and try as he might. He has no real chance at this one. So a 3rd round up for OpTic, and they kept it straightforward, right? Just walk out onto the A bomb site, see what you can get done. And luckily for OpTic, it was Gade to pick up the first kill. I mean, look at the frag distribution here. 4 frags across 4 separate players. And that's what OpTic are going to need, I think. I don't believe that a one-man show would be enough to shut down Imperial. They need to show that they are the better team through and through. Fingers crossed for them.
And again, this is kind of what we expect from OpTic in the sense of these fast, aggressive plays. Play off the back of your individual talents. Of course, they have the strategy there, but clearly didn't show any of it in the previous maps, and maybe Mirage is where they can pull in more of a puggy approach and just play aggressive, try and take these gunfights. However, Imperial certainly warmed up as well. 7-3, a short tactical pause, and actually only 1 remaining, Connor. We're only 10 rounds in, but Imperial are running dry, so if in case this game starts to get close into the 25 rounds, this could be a problem for Imperial.
That's because they plan on winning in 20.
I don't blame them after the previous map.
And crazy enough, that's still something possible.
Yeah.
Highly unlikely, and most certainly with a buy like this, it is Nexa who will be equipped with just his AK. We saw 1 round like this from OpTic on Overpass, where Config couldn't get anything done with a single rifle. So we'll see if Imperial can turn things on its head. Smoke to the feet of Nuki is going to afford the middle control to OpTic, but mid's not an issue. The problem is A, and that's exactly where OpTic looked to split. With no footing towards the B site, things could have gotten sketchy on the entry. The Cajun drops Tensky, and that could lead them to just fall right into Nexa's lap. In fact, Nuki's even going to soften them up with one of his own. Still, the AK hasn't fired off, so it's not been revealed. Esperanto, too, is in a playmaker position. This gets scary.
Oh, now it really does. Nexa drops another man, and even though he gets traded, we still have this player hiding in the back of the box. Bomb plant again is open, so he can't stop it. That's been a problem multiple times for Imperial. Nice work from OpTic to not give Esperanto an opportunity to succeed, and it's again Crystal back in with the Zeus, although this time I think that's a bit too much to ask for. A 1v3. And USP tapping away will not work out. And yeah, both times you've seen either Nexa or Esperanto at the back of the boxes. OpTic have gone for that open triple plant thanks to having all the map control in the A site. So very important to see that, because otherwise Imperial would have had 2 opportunities to win rounds, and with that they're not able to do so. So it's OpTic once again 4th here on this T side, and now it's the buy for Imperial.
Even in that round, right, you've got 2 opportunities for Imperial to add up the bodies, whether that be Nuki with the AK over towards the stairs, or as you alluded to, Esperanto coming in with a pistol. But for right now, it is the Op to connect the first shot. Config now coming into the B site. He's looking to entry once more. We've seen Gade do this towards A, and Config more and off over towards this B site. But this time he goes further forward.
But holds his ground still. The X Factor for OpTic flashed in and gets another kill. Tensky wasn't even blind, but it doesn't make a difference. As Config is dragging his team through this game, whether they like it or not, with another double kill. Nexa are able to save the AWP, but that's all it will be, a save. As Imperial allow OpTic to pick up a 5th round here with this T side. So things are starting to look up now for the Danish, Connor. It's not as dominant as the previous map was so far. And OpTic's starting to find their groove, as the first 2 were reset straight away, but now they have 3 in a row.
I mean, this is kind of what we saw with the first 15 from OpTic on Overpass, right? Nice, strong start from Imperial, and then OpTic started to piece things together. They felt out the situation. My question then becomes, how do you stop Nexa? I mean, he's on 16 kills at the moment. He's still going to have an AWP. You might be able to get past him and plant bombs to win rounds. But eventually, he's going to find you. Just like Config found kills towards the B site this round, he's definitely the one that opened up shop, even took control of it, in fact.
So Nuki throwing that AWP, and Nexa left on a pistol here. Esperanto rifled up, so I'm not going to say that's exactly a bad choice considering his previous map as well. And Nuki posted on short. He's already made his way up from the boosted window. He might be able to catch a kill, but the flashbang holds him back. He's not going to hit that reaction shot, and OpTic will be able to cross towards the top and middle. Imperial giving them a lot of map control now. And it's these kind of rounds where you really need that man advantage if you actually want to have a chance, because at the end of the day, 3 of your players are so unequipped that OpTic should be able to win their 1v1s there. Yuki trying to get into a position to succeed, but it's only a tag as Yugi wins the battle. And with that, a lot of the hope of winning this round is gone, unless Esperanto has a sick play.
Outnumbered, still able to get the first headshot, but Cajun was so quickly behind him that it is an easy trade. So they'll tap the top of the last 2 remaining pistols, both of which are closer towards the B site, but Nexa actually lets off the gas pedal and holds off in towards mid. This is another one of those rounds, Hugo, that, you know, a couple bits of damage more, things could have been different. If Yugi was the first casualty of the round, it's possible that we don't see OpTic head towards B so fast. That would have then not necessarily set up Esperanto, who definitely could have got a second kill had Cajun not caught him off guard. Now, Nexa would love to survive with an AK. OpTic, I'm sure, would love to deny this because they are sure enough carving something of a T side. 1 point the difference now, and they still have a chance to establish a lead.
That's so funny there. You could see how Nexa wanted to go towards top mid, but he also didn't want to be caught out by Snappy either peeking window or short, and he kept jumping between the 2. So Nexa just gets out of there alive. A gun saved for Imperial, but not a round 1 as OpTic look to even up the score here. An equal scoreboard here for the T side as well. 6 to 9 kills across everyone here from OpTic right now. So, kind of what you wanted, Connor, kind of what you expected here. We need an equal scoreboard. We can't have, you know, just one player stepping up because Imperial have so much firepower as well. And Yugi looking to show off his firepower down through ramp is not going to work out because Esperanto quicker on the trigger. Yugi forced through that Molotov into his death as the double AWP holds on for Imperial. And Esperanto still confidently peeking here because his palace is smoked off. So he has an open season to hunt. And OpTic just holding back, waiting for this smoke to fade so Cajun can try and find a pick of his own.
But the underpass flank is what works out. Config gets the best of Yuki. Now it's Esperanto called back into action, and he needs to be careful of the palace. Cajun's anticipating the stairs peak, but Esperanto's in fact just a little bit closer to him. Wow. Snappy even finding himself another back turn. So that's twice in this round alone, Hugo, that Imperial offer up free frags. Nexa then denied as Gade gets the best of him. A man advantage established. Once more, we're going to get this open triple stack plant.
The flank can be good from Crystal, but Gade's posted on the angle down on Tetris, so surely that's not a fight he'll win. Tensky as well. A difficult job getting back to the connector with the crossfire from that exact position and from the palace, although Snappy's going to go down. So here's an opportunity for Imperial. Do they take it? Gade loses his duel. Great shot from Crystal, I gotta say. And Cajun B is now the last alive, missing his opening duel, and he needs to go in back for more because now they can just jump a player on the bomb. No kit, no matter. It's Imperial with the round. If the bomb doesn't tick away too much, but that should just be fine. An 8th taken. I have no idea how they win that retake.
Maybe a little too close for comfort, but that one falls on Crystal. Yeah. Solid flank, and then he gets into position, but doesn't reveal himself too soon. Cajun, assuming it was safe, is caught as he had to extend, right? The bomb tap forced his hands. He needed to get the player off of it. It's just a matter of having lost his teammates already. So Imperial will now most certainly take a lead at the end of this half, but is it by 2 or 1? OpTic yet once more feeling out this A site and giving a chance for Imperial to get aggressive. Remember that last round, Cajun B gets one of the first kills here inside of Palace. But it's patience that blankets the bomb site. Both CTs sitting back as the smokes come up and over. The rotation so far away from Imperial though. So these players dedicated to the bomb site are going to have to get something done. And that's not going to help. Nuki goes down over the shoulder. He tried to force his way into the gunfight. Nexa's still in a prime position, but Gade's waiting for it. He had his head up and his attention trained in.
I like how OpTic have slowed down now. They've not chased too far. They wait for the smokes to dissipate, and Esperanto gets caught in the open. So Imperial are just getting completely wrecked one by one. Not a kill in sight for the CT side, and OpTic look to find their 7th. It's only Tensky that can try and stop that, but even then, a 1v5 with the bomb down and OpTic already settled into their post plants, maybe a little bit too much to ask for. The second he makes contact will be multiple players peeking out to his face, and there it is, Cajun cleans up.
I mean, I think you just said it best, 1 by 1. That's how that round goes. OpTic just keeping their eyes on the smoke, slowing it down as you alluded to. And sure enough, one after another, Imperial just emerged. No trade frags, no successful flashbangs. Not able to disrupt the bomb plant nor get any retake rolling. So 8-7 the score here at the end of the first half. This is in fact the second map, the choice of Imperial. And it's over on that T side, Hugo, that I think Imperial can really start to show us what they've got. No longer are they going to have to play responsively to the decisions of OpTic.
However, I would say 7 rounds on the T side for OpTic is definitely good enough to take a victory here, assuming they can get pistol, but only taken 1 out of 3 of the pistols played so far in this series. We've already seen how effective Imperial can be on these exact rounds, so there's that to worry about if you are OpTic. Let's hope they have something up their sleeve here, because Imperial certainly are still in the lead for now. Confident on this second half as well. I'm really excited to see just Esperanto on this T side. He's such a nuisance in the connector on this map.
Yeah, connector, Palace. I think Esperanto working towards that A bomb site is something to be very scared of. So we'll see if OpTic can curb their success. It is Cajun B enthusiastically working his way towards top mid, where he will find contact versus Crystal. But now Crystal, he's going to come join forces with his teammates over here towards B. It is the retake setup here from OpTic. They do have that kit on Gade with a smoke to boot. Crystal's utility now on the dirt, and, well, so is Snooki. It's Cajun obscuring the push into the bomb site. That's going to slow down the plant on top of it. Crystal removed from connector now all of a sudden starts to really unravel this pistol.
Oh, that's a nice double peek though, but somehow OpTic get out ahead of it. Only Tensky left up now in the 1v4, and he's just going to get silenced. Cajun B, 3 kills on 20 points of health. Absolutely fantastic work from him. Just able to hold on to short, lock down the flank, kill the first man into the bomb site, and even finish off the job. Clean as can be, OpTic are going to take their second pistol of this map. And even though it seemed like well read from the side of Imperial, right, they were almost ready for the retake setup on OpTic. They had the smoke towards the window of the market. OpTic weren't playing anyone inside of the B site, and Imperial were ready for it, but weren't able to hit their shots. Ranged battles and USPs will win all of them. OpTic are going to be able to move forward now with a very, very real chance of pulling this game back into their own. Trying to drag us to a third here with a half investment from Imperial after they got a bomb down. It's going to be a complete clean sweep from Config. Oh my god.
All right, makes it look so damn easy. And seeing as they are unarmored, it is one of the easier of tasks, but he does it in a flashy way, Hugo. That reminds us what this guy's got. He heard Crystal, so this could be the anti-eco ace. He hasn't reloaded. I believe this would be 1 magazine, 5 kills.
Oh. Was he running with his knife out?
Possibly. Just get it done. Get it out of the way and allow for OpTic to establish now what is a 1-point lead.
But yeah, but at least the bomb plant went down for Imperial in that pistol round, so we can have the buy come through here. Guns pulled in. And that's why it's so important that OpTic actually ran rifles in this second round as well, because otherwise they'd be on a heavy bonus round. Instead, now they only have 2 UMPs, which isn't a hassle. Crystal's down on a Deagle, everyone else AK'd up. And the fast mid-play from Config as he boosts himself up and runs down through short, takes Esperanto out of the round. Can fall even back to connector, and Yugi's still here to try and support, but the problem is he's left her out to dry, hung alone. Next are even following up with a single kill, and it's actually the A site uncovered by Imperial.
Yeah, Gade actually gets himself into A ramp and drops the bomb, but oh my god, he continues onwards. And while he does catch Crystal, he was never suspecting that Tensky would be there too. With 2 frags apiece for both of the remaining Imperial players, one of them's going to have to get that third. It would be a full house. And now that Snappy's got his paws on an AK, he is that much more deadly, but just nearly gets a chance to take down Tensky, who will go for the safer plant. So no way Snappy can stop it. He's going to have to go for the real retake, but he does have the kit. And he also has the element of surprise. The timing could play into his hand here. Oh, he's spotted and seen, but still able to win the first duel. Smoke down towards CT, crosses, and he knows he could just stick this. Nexa needs to find a way to get him off the bomb, but it's not going to happen. No! Snappy sticks the defuse.
The reason that setup was actually okay from Imperial, despite the awkward post plant, is the fact that you could see Snappy was checking towards CT spawn. He had no idea that last player was inside of the jungle, just because of how badly the bomb was planted. So even though, you know, the element of surprise is in the hand of Imperial, and that should surely be his kill, Snappy avoids the bullets, gets on the bomb, and wins around for OpTic. That is a massive kick in the teeth for Imperial. And while they are still able to buy up for one more round, OpTic are going to have everything they need, the objects of their desires. 2 AWPs, full utility, kits on everyone. Imperial, got to be very careful here, because this is where the game could start to slip out of their control.
Config wants these gunfights in the middle, and the flashbang allows for him to do exactly that. He sweeps away Tensky. Or Esperanto, excuse me. Tensky falls elsewhere. So it's still the man advantage, despite the middle kills being traded. What a quick shot from Cajun. Spicy. And these are the situations that we didn't see much from Imperial over on Overpass, Hugo. How often were they really at a man disadvantage? It was OpTic who was constantly fighting off the back foot. So we'll see if they can work their way and somehow weasel their positions into this A site. Gade still back beneath Palace, tries to emerge, and now it's even keel. From a 2 versus 2, they will look to finish this off. And that's a greatly timed flashbang. Cajun B comes back into the bomb site with a chance to get the kill, but it's still the plant regardless. And Nexa can't punish him right away. Nexa's assuming there's another player here towards jungle or connector, but he would be wrong in thinking so. They're both coming in. They could actually be lined up very easily. Nexa could just mow them down. It's going to come down to timing and an element of surprise. He's spotted and seen with 6 shots left. He gets the peek from the box, but Cajun drops him then and there. And that's all right. Not a round that they should have ever really had much in, right? 2v4, turned 1v2 post plant.
That's such a shame as well. A really nice attempt, because after he gets spotted down on ramp with an open plant, they do not expect that he's pushed forward. The first player to push the CT spawn ahead of Cajun actually just wraps round through default box. So there was definitely an opportunity there to finish off the clutch, but despite having 22 kills, Nex is not going to be able to find 24. It's now OpTic with 11. Imperial is still actually going to buy up here, which is not a big surprise considering they can get a pretty decent buy, all things considered, but there's an SMG or 2 as well, so it's not a clean round, and that's why they're heading in towards the B site, where you can play that run and gun style of CS. A fast contact play, Cajun with a flashbanger, jumps the spot as well coming out from Snappy, but he's so blind. Crystal runs through and somehow gets that kill before the trade is instantly found off the back of the AWP. One of the 2 in play. Yuki as well holds the angle, and Config waits for no man as he just dives on in, does connect the spray. As the bomb goes down, so does Config, but still OpTic hold that man advantage. And Imperial are going to be tasked now with getting aggressive and trying to draw this one back. Yuki unsuccessful, so it's left on the shoulders of Tensky in the 1v3.
With 2 AWPs and plenty of grenades, OpTic can still make this retake happen. Tensky has no utility to play off of, but his position's still unknown. There's the sweep out from the market. He will get himself the first, and he gets his hands on the M4, but there's 6 bullets left, so the reload needed, and it's in. The tap is a fake, the spray connects, but it's not the diffuser, and there is still just enough time. OpTic with another retake and another round on the board.
Man, these heartbreaking clutch moments for Imperial are the only things that are keeping OpTic just ahead of this game. Coming down to the wire, Imperial somehow, round after round, managing to pull back these man disadvantages, but still can't close them out. OpTic, just the better team here on Mirage. And this is the map pick of Imperial as well, so if this were to go the way of OpTic, it would be split maps in this grand final. Not something you see every day. But we did already question the vetoes coming into this game, as we always do. Nothing ever goes to plan, and Imperial are learning that the hard way with only 8 rounds to 12. Another pause coming through.
I feel like we're starting to watch Config really come into where he tends to succeed, right? We've seen him just multiple rounds now throw his body up in the top of middle, and in that round, he throws himself into the bomb site. As his teammates, the Oppers, sat back, Config just goes flying forward. And it's an op duel won by Esperanto that this could then translate so quickly into an A play. Config's going to get aggressive on ramp. He's going to find Nex on the other side, and he connects the headshot on top of it. There's still a player over towards Palace, but Gage's walking down connector with one of his own, and Cajun, again, is so crucial. It's Esperanto alone. The bomb will be smoked off, but he still hits that shot. And Snappy's going to have to rotate over. What's the play? Oh. Fade away. Leave A and go wherever the hell you want.
It's only a matter of time before Snappy works this one out as well. But even then, he has to question, is Esperanto wrapping that T-spawner? Is he going back through the Palace? Snappy in this position, it's very common to just see the players stick on the site they've picked. Because you don't want to get caught out rotating between the two, or stuck in the middle when the bomb goes down and you don't know where it's been planted. So Snappy waits for that bomb noise, patient as ever. This plant, assuming it's a default one, should be free for Esperanto, but Snappy can fight back and throw his HE grenade as well if he even wants to give away his position. Try and dunk him down. Esperanto trying to find a play on the site, and he's going to give it away. Bomb plant coming in. Snappy just going to run straight forward, though. The footsteps being made. Close range is perfect for Esperanto.
I mean, that's what I'm thinking. I'm wondering, right? You're playing versus Snappy, the years of experience, as opposed to a guy like Esperanto. But what he has is the aim. Op shot, up close, not even a problem. Had, of course, Snappy been over towards CT spawn, then Esperanto's dead to rights. But he just goes for it. He gambles that of all the places Snappy could be, it wasn't that one location, and he was safe in assuming so. And although there is a 3-point lead still for OpTic, this one is just pistols, and that's not looking good. But Gage still, despite the disadvantage, picks up a single kill.
Yeah, Gage very strong with a deagle, one thing about him, but he's only going to get a single kill, and in the midst of all this madness, there's only Snappy left standing, and he'll join his team in the dirt. 10 rounds for Imperial. So it's starting to look like a bit of a comeback here, this European mix. This is Esperanto from the previous round as well, with his 3 kills to pick up that clutch. Even again, Connor, the money still for OpTic is yet to be built up. They're back down to pistols once more. So, a couple of PT-50s and a deagle. Imperial charging down middle with a man in the apartments as well. Could be that late round B split. And OpTic without too much of a defense here. They've gone for very aggressive A setups. Close towards the ramp and Palace where these pistols will remain prominent, but even then, it means they've given up all of middle, given Imperial all this map control to just go for this split. Snappy's up in the apps. But they have the Molotov for this balcony. If they do decide to use it, that's going to be him neutralized. Config as well, dead on the A site, will keep these other 2 players committed to it. And now the push comes into B.
Burned alive as the shot connects ×2. Tensky both these headshots, just cleaning up the pistols. Unfortunately for Gade, he's been given no opportunities, and neither has Yugi. They've seen nobody, Hugo. And yet the round will come to a close in the favor of Imperial, most certainly. Things now start to get scary because you know how good Imperial are here on Mirage. And while we've seen these glimmers of hope from certain players on OpTic, Config confidently playing certain positions and making big plays, Imperial somehow, some way, seem to go pound for pound with these guys.
Optimistic play from Yugi, looking to try and keep Imperial near the bomb site so they go down with that explosion, but instead it's just him as well. Gade does save a CZ, but the buy will be coming in big for OpTic here. They went for the double eco. So 3-round loss bonus, saved cash, gonna have everything they need. We could see that double AWP come back in for OpTic because that's been a bit of a staple of this game already for them, but no, it's just Yugi for now. That's a safe bet. These are expensive guns after all, and Esperanto dons his this time. It's nice to see the versatility in this team where, you know, Nuki is a sick AWPer, but he's totally fine with some rounds just giving it over to Esperanto and letting him do his thing. Esperanto having a great game as well. Back into middle is Yuki. One shot missing. Fast array play for Imperial. They've just bursted out through the smokes, and Yuki's found himself an opener as well. Back into a 3-on-3 with the bomb plant open. They can actually get this in and settle into their post plants while OpTic look for the retake and a double flank coming through as well.
Yeah, a flank that's not going to do much because these Ts go over towards CT spawn. Yeah. So this flank is only doing one thing, and that's burning crucial time off of the clock. A single kit here for Config, and he is just barely alive. 2 health the difference. And Esperanto still back towards tickets, looking to make contact as Crystal holds on cross. He knows that there's somebody there near smoke. They have to realize that, of course, this is the flank coming in, and it's already starting to go down, all in the favor of Imperial. It's only Cajun. He's dropped, and it's all tied up. 12 rounds apiece. Imperial continue to march their way forward.
And even though you throw Esperanto on the AWP and you put Nuki down on a rifle, it's not a problem for him. He gets 3 kills in that round with an AK. Showing the versatility of this team. The AWPers are riflers, the riflers are AWPers, and Imperial are back in this game. OpTic definitely going to be feeling the pressure here. Only 4 rounds away from a loss in this grand final, in a final that they should have won, at least on paper, Connor, but Imperial have come into this event looking like an absolute storm. A 2-0 in the group stage, straight to the semi-finals where they have no issue up against their opposition, and now it's a similar story. OpTic have definitely put up a fight on this second map, but unless they can find their footing once again with a 4-round streak now for Imperial and pistols in play for the 3rd time this half, things are looking good for the T side.
Still peering into the A sites, looking to get himself some kind of a contact here, but this is interesting. OpTic actually get themselves just outside of ramp, and they do so silently, unspotted. Working off the back foot, undoubtedly. There goes Cajun. Caught by surprise. Config, though, he could still get them back with one of his own. Will miss a couple crucial shots. Still, he does clean up Crystal. But that's not nearly enough. Not with all these players already dead. And it doesn't slow down at all. Snappy left over, spotted and seen, with what will be Imperial's 13th.
Oh, you're never going to hit that shot. Not with a P250. And Tetsky has the lockdown of the window as well, so Imperial take it, as you would assume on the anti-eco. Not been faltering too much, at least on this map. Well, OpTic were great at picking up and at least getting pistol rounds close on overpass. This is Imperial's territory after all, their map pick, Mirage. Now OpTic go for it, the desperation play. Double AWP back in their hands. Snappy on that second AWP. So we're not seeing Cajun take it for a bit of a change, but Yugi's still posted up in middle. That's a bit in a position that OpTic, despite, you know, the early rounds that were so good when we saw aggression up in middle, OpTic have been so against doing that in these final few, and that's how Imperial have gotten back into this game. OpTic are giving mid the way of Imperial, and these splits are consistent. A pick already the way of the T side, and Yugi unable to trade back in through the edge of the smoke. Imperial look to put pressure on B, but the bomb's still working its way up through Palace, so this is all a ruse.
Pressure being applied, and that bead distraction is going to slow down the rotation, but Config still locks this down. He gets 2 kills, and that's not going to be enough, no. OpTic still working with a man disadvantage, not to mention the double op setup, and they have no kits currently on them. Add in what is this B-site flank, and this is a disaster. Imperial, they're about to secure 14. Hugo, they are doing this not only stealing away OpTic's map pick on overpass, but now they have extended the lead once more. So it would seem. Yugi's still serving to be a bit of an issue, but he's not going to win this round. No, he just wants to keep his op, and they will let him have that. A consolation prize now that they have won 6 rounds in a row. One better than how OpTic started off this half. And in fact, Yugi may still die. No, he will deny an additional kill. And at least that's an op to work with.
And Yugi, who's been the best performer for OpTic statistically in this entire event, is now sitting in the second map of the grand final, bottom of the board with 10 kills. He has been the standout player, or at least one of them. And now he cannot find his footing right where it matters most. Imperial are out dueling him. Nuki back on the AW here, P here. Esperanto isn't going to be pulling that in himself. And again, mid left open, but a man does want to contest it. That's Config. The light in the dark here as he pushes in through the smoke, but it's blindsided by Crystal, who shines through. Imperial with a man advantage once again here, trying to drag himself to map and match point.
Smoke in the face of Yugi again. Gonna deny any kind of peering into middle. And it's in this moment that you do see Imperial trying to get themselves closer and closer. This connector A split, Hugo, has just been so convincing. Yugi's going to give up any kind of position towards jungle, so no, that opens up this window push. That could really come back to bite them. Unless Gade locks down ramp, but no, not yet. He does connect some damage, committing to the spray. He needs to fade away, and he will find some safety. Yugi over the shoulder, missing a shot. Does not make this any easier, but the flashbangs might. Yes, there's one, at least. And despite the kill, 45 seconds as things slow down.
OpTic, there's a big gap in the smoke. There's an opportunity here, at least for Cajun. Tensky may be up in the window to sever this push, but if Imperial go back in, there may be an opportunity here. Tensky does give away his position, but at the cost of a kill, and that's to Snappy's, well, not favor. He's going down. Cajun B going to follow in tow as well, and it's just Yugi left up in the 1v4. His entire team torn apart. Imperial may have wasted a lot of time, but it's worked out wonderfully because they've got a 4v1 with the bomb down on the site. And Yugi again, it's deja vu as he's stuck in the CT spawn. This time the flank's already in, and Imperial, there's no way in hell they're letting him save this gun. They are going to be hunting him down, and already the push in, Yugi spots the first and takes the kill, but it's Tensky's reposition up in the CT spawn that will seal this fate. Vocal Neil M, and you can't blame him because Imperial are one round away from being the champions of DreamHack Summer.
To go from Tour, their first DreamHack showing, a complete and total bust. Esperanto most notably. I mean, we thought maybe Copenhagen Games was a fluke. The changing of the leadership didn't seem to do them any favors, but now Crystal has been cementing this team. And the consistency we've seen from these fraggers, Esperanto, Nuki, Nexa even. OpTic gonna be trying to fight for tournament life. Config goes to the top of middle, and then he is sent packing. Just like OpTic could be, if this round goes their way. Imperial, weapon advantage, man advantage, and 3 rounds to play as well on top of that. They will, again, just slow things down. They do not need to get overzealous. They are in control of this situation.
We've not seen this push up in the apps before, not since the pistol round, so OpTic have a very good position to catch someone off guard, but the UMP surely can't get more than 1 kill here. There it is, Dink as well to the second, but Nexus traded right back, and Imperial still hold this man advantage. It's Yugi, the only player on the B site to stop this madness, and he is alone, already dropped to the dirt, leaving just Gade.
He's in the back of the market, and try as he might, he's denied! There you have it, folks, Imperial! They've somehow done it! They marched their way to another tournament win! The Dane Slayers, silencing critics yet again, upsets every single step of the way. They are new kids on the block, experience added in. The coach of Neil M, this is fantastic. I mean, we thought that we would have that Danish matchup giving us potentially the winners here, but no. Imperial, Hugo, they have turned heads.
Yeah, a super team in their own right forming here. We've already seen the rise of European mixes in the last couple of years into both Mouse Sports, FaZe, Hellraisers. But now Imperial are definitely running for that title as well. Looking fantastic here in summer, and only good things in the future for this team. They have surprised and impressed, and they are going to get the trophy here of DreamHack Summer. I couldn't say there's anyone more deserving.
Imperial have done it. They have quite literally beaten the odds. And look how happy they are on stage as they rejoice. Jacob and Dust.
This is a team that did not lose one single map throughout the entire tournament. This is not only a win, but a dominant win, and it comes from an underdog, Dust.
put it this way, I don't think there's ever been a more unlikely DreamHack Open winner in the history of DreamHack Open and Counter-Strike Global Offensive. I mean, I didn't even think this team would make it out of groups when we came into this tournament, given they had like North and AGO in their group. I thought they were definitely heavy underdogs, especially considering their recent online form coming into this tournament. There was a lot of tournaments they couldn't even qualify for on this open circuit. Didn't qualify for Valencia, didn't qualify for Austin. They did qualify for Summer. That was their one event they did manage to break into, and then they get here and they go through the gauntlet, especially a strong OpTic team, and they somehow hoist a trophy. It's an incredible story for this team. There's no doubt about it.
In terms of my own experience, and definitely if I'm referring to the events that I've worked at, I can't remember a team that was, in many's eyes, least likely to win it at the start of the tournament.
Nah, it's a case of, as Dust was saying, you know, the results didn't really implicate that they were going into this tournament feeling confident. The online play that we're playing as of lately hasn't really been great. And when you look at the other teams in the tournament, you have teams like Gambit, you have OpTic for that matter, you have North, you know, you have Argo. Sure. There's so many great teams here, so it's just an unlikely scenario. Let's just
remind everybody at home, this was a pretty stacked tournament. We had former Godsent, now known as Red Reserve, Renegades, Ago, Complex North, Gambit, and of course OpTic, who they beat in the final. Where do these guys rank in that before the tournament? Where do they rank now?
Bro, let me just tell you one thing that'll really set this off for you real quick. This team hasn't even been able to qualify for the European minor closed qualifier. Like, they're getting beaten open qualifiers by teams you've probably never even heard of coming into this event. Like, I can't explain to you how, like, their online form just didn't show that they would be able to do this, which makes it that much more incredible that they did. And, you know, to see these young players, Nexa, Esperano, Nuki, just play so well throughout this entire tournament, it's just fun to watch, man. I don't even know how else to describe it, really.
Well, in a way, it is slightly inexplicable. We're all at a bit of a loss for words, and we can see on screen some of the highlights from that best of 3. And like Pimp mentioned when it came back to us here in the studio, they didn't drop a map the entire tournament. They won their first 2 best of 1s, they won their first best of 3, and that was against Ago. And then they came to the final and took 2 maps directly against OpTic. Gambit was the team that they played in their first best of 3. And so that's crazy in itself to do such damage to so many different teams and to not drop a map.
Yeah, it's a sign of consistency that, again, you know, couldn't be spotted or couldn't be predicted from anywhere. You take a look at the scoreboard here as well. You see pretty much all players have their moments. 10 entry frags from both Nuki and Esperanto. Both these AVP players were showing up big time in this game. And we talked about the counterpart in terms of Yugi. He had to step up as well. He had quite a dare I say, boring game, quite a unsignificant game. He's sitting at 57.3 ADR, and that's just not a lot for Yugi. 5 entry frags usually do better. So they were just getting outskilled, outplayed in pretty much all aspects of the game. It was very simple Counter-Strike, I feel Imperial showed up with, but simple Counter-Strike is most often the most effective Counter-Strike if you have the skill behind the team to pull it off. And once again, you know, I think we have 3 of the best players in the tournament playing on the same team, so hats off, you know, Imperial just played hearts out.
Jacob and Dust, we are now ready to talk to one of the hot rising stars in the CSGO scene. He goes by the name of Esperanto, of course, the winning team here at DreamHack Summer 2018, Imperial. It's great to chat to you, young sir. How are you feeling right now? What's going through your head?
Oh, I'm feeling good, but like the result was unexpected because we didn't do much preparation and we came off with first place. It's really good.
Let's talk about that, because we have, of course, spoke about it at length on the desk at times from day one, and even till now, when it's said and done that you've won it, that you guys were so unexpected to go this deep into the tournament and raise the trophy.
What was the question?
So, like you said, it was unexpected that you guys were going to win. And hearing that from yourself, just give me some overall thoughts on it.
I don't know, it happened. What happened?
It happens, right? Pimp, Jacob and Dust.
I mean, Esperanto, it's not a secret that you're a big talent. I have the honor sometimes to get kick my ass by you in FPL. How do you see yourself progressing right now? You know, the team, as you said, haven't really been having the greatest result. You yourself have been in I would say in a stall period. You come out blazing hot this tournament. Is definitely my MVP of the entire tournament. Is there anything particular this event you did differently in terms of individual practice or anything like that, or is it just, you know, one of those days where everything is just going your way?
Yeah, well, in DreamHack Tours, when Crystal came in, like the calls were different for me, since like in Copenhagen games I was playing differently because of the calls, and that's why I had like really bad DreamHack Tours event. Like I couldn't adapt to Crystal calls, but this event I just played my game how I played in Copenhagen games, and I did my best.
All right, Dust, before we get to some questions from yourself, Esperanto, do you feel you had a good tournament?
I would say so.
I think many would agree, and I can also tell you, sir, you are our official Astro MVP for DreamHack Summer 2018. Congratulations. How does it feel?
Feeling thank you.
I mean, that's a pretty nice feeling.
Well, let's take a look at his stats from over the course of the tournament. A total of 141 kills and an average damage, and the team average, sorry, was 108. Also, we'll check out some highlights, and Dust, if you'd like to fire any questions towards Esperanto whilst this is going on, that would be great.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen that you're really good with almost every gun, right? Pistols, AK-47, you know, an op, a sniper, whatever you want to call it. Throughout that last game, there was actually some times where I saw that you were actually opping over Nuki. Is this something that you kind of call for, or is it just because you had a better spawn, or what kind of leads you to make decisions on what gun you're going to use?
Yeah, spawn matters as well, but like I take the op when I feel like it's good for the team, and I change with Nuki.
I have one last question for you, Esperanto, and I think I'm asking on behalf of the entire world, basically. What resolution are you playing with?
1024 by 768.
There we go.
There we go.
Stretch.
Esperanto, if you'd like to say anything else to everybody watching, whoever you would like, now is the time to do so.
Well, I want to say thank you to all the fans and all the supporters throughout the event, and that's all.
Great stuff, and congratulations to you and your team. Wow, what a performance from that young man. He stood out throughout the course of the tournament, like many members on his team for different reasons, but it was definitely the case he was the #1 star.
He was the #1 star, and he was the guy, you know, consistently putting up the big numbers, and especially the fact that Dust just mentioned right there, he was able to do it with the pistols, he was doing it with the rifle, he was doing it in the entry department as well, and obviously his AVP was known throughout the entire tournament for being lethal. Yuki couldn't do anything against him, and he's supposed to be one of the best AVP players in the world. So Esperanto really showed up here, and he showed that, again, he's a star to be reckoned with. I think this is a dude that within a years of time, if he has the right circumstances, if he gets maybe a better teacher or a better team in the future, he could go all the way to become one of the best in the world.
Yeah, it's always cool to see a player emerge from a country that typically doesn't have like really big talents. I think about Nico from like Bosnia-Herzegovina, right? So being able to come out of a country like that and just be this crazy talent. Now you have this guy who's from, you know, Lithuania, and the only other players that really are notable from there are his teammate Nuki, and then like maybe Kavik that plays over in the CIS region. So it's pretty crazy, especially at 17 years old, to already be having an MVP and a title and having beat some of the teams that they beat here to do it is it's just a crazy story, like one of the best we've had, I think, in the scene in a while.
It is a great story, Dust, and the story of this tournament has been one of great Counter-Strike. We've had a plethora of fantastic plays, and now we are going to bring you the top 5 of the entire weekend. Okay, brought to us by Astro. Let's start off with number 5, OpTic versus North Config, who we saw in the final, also performing earlier in the tournament in that Danish derby with a 4K on Mirage.
He got aim, and you see him displaying his aim right here. It's just so pinpointed to the heads. As you can see, he's aiming for the heads, he's hitting the heads, and that's what Config does.
Indeed. Now, number 4, a Go versus North. Snatchy, the star AWPer for the Polish side, with 4 kills on train, Dust.
Yeah, speaking of young talents, this guy is also, I think, only 19 years old, out of Poland, and definitely seems to be another rising talent that's coming out of that country. Definitely a name to keep an eye on in the future.
Indeed. Now, moving on to number 3, Imperial versus a Go from day 1. Our MVP of the tournament, Esperanto.
That's exactly what we're talking about. The AVP, the aggressiveness in the way he plays, the re-peaks, it seems so controlled at all, you know, and I think he's pretty comfortable doing these peaks. And, you know, it may look easy for you guys, and that's obviously a great thing, but it's incredibly hard, Paolo, you know it.
Indeed, it is incredibly hard. And he put up some fantastic numbers. Now, moving on to number 2, OpTic versus North. Again, it's Config with his second place in here with 4 kills with that USPA, that silenced USP.
Yeah, I mean, this is, again, a guy who seems to be finally getting back into a good rhythm. Unfortunately, had like one really off game in that series, but again, just incredible talent as we see Nuki, the teammate of our MVP here, showing you some of his pistol work throughout the tournament. Definitely another fantastic talent out of Lithuania.
This was not a one-off thing. He did this quite a few times.
Yeah,
we saw it in
absolutely.
the final today as well, him on overpass, just absolutely destroying OpTic. Sorry. So Nuki is also a force to be reckoned with. And let's again applaud Esperanto for being the MVP. Nexa, definitely one of the EVPs. Nuki had a great tournament as well. The rock of the team, Tensky, did well. And obviously Crystal coming into this team, having a rough start at Tours, you know, being the caller. We even heard it from Esperanto. He was not able to make him feel comfortable. Now already in second tournament on lane, he's able to make this a win for this team. This is a great pickup. This is one for the future.
You are right, Pimp. And it's quite interesting to note that the number one pick from our top 5 players of the tournament brought to us by Astro was Nuki, the teammate of Esperanto, and Esperanto was on there as well. And so that team throughout the tournament has just been performing on all levels. Dust and Jacob, any final thoughts?
Oh, no, it's just a really fun time. And again, I think this is one of the more incredible stories to come out of DreamHack Open for Counter-Strike, is to have this team like coming in, struggling, no one expecting to win, no one even expecting to make playoffs, to take a title against a really strong OpTic team. I think that's a fantastic story.
One of those events where we came in, we had a lot of questions regard to Nords, their recent form. You know, they once again showed us they're not really there yet. It's getting a little bit better time by time, but it's not there yet. Same goes for OpTic. We had high hopes of them doing well. They got to the final, got owned by Imperial, and then again, Gambit Identity Crisis. We just got confirmed once again that there's something going on with that team that needs to be fixed and needs to be adjusted before we can see them once up there again. It is a major winning team that came 3rd to 4th here at DreamHack Open. It's just not good enough, Paula.
Maybe sometimes it isn't, Jacob. You are correct. Don't forget, everybody at home, to join the family here at DreamHack by checking out some Astro gear. And of course, a big shout out to the rest of the companies making this event possible: Corsair, Monster Energy, and Hacks. A big thank you to all of those guys, and of course to all of you for watching, and everybody who's been involved in making this show possible, production, the rest of the talent, and all of you at home as well. I've been Parla, and this has been DreamHack Summer 2018. Imperial are our champions.
Place your